Hello and welcome to my Elite Dangerous Preparing for Fleet Carriers, Space Legs, and Personal Planetary Bases. Are you ready for some prime grind? Well, that's really what all this is prime grind, because we are preparing. Everything's about credits, as you know. I have currently 8.639 billion. Now, you need to watch some of my previous, my first look at fleet carriers, my personal fleet carrier videos, which are just prior to two before this one. You'll see them. It was on April the 7th through April 9th, or to April 9th. And I spent about 2 full days with the fleet carrier, and I'm already missing it. We're still in Sothis in our live account, and we're in Sothis in our beta account. And I'm always going, where's my fleet carrier? I don't see it in the system map or in the left navigation where you see it. So yes, I went into beta with 6.3 billion because I took a snapshot of 2 weeks ago. That really wasn't enough. I had to do a little bit of grinding just to populate the fleet carrier the way I wanted, and it probably took about 7 billion. So if you have at least 7 billion, you can do most things. Now, if you're going to be into selling commodities and selling and trading, outfitting, and the shipyard, yeah, you're going to need more. You're probably going to need more, like 8 or 9, 10 billion. So my goal before June, when we get to buy these, is have 10 billion at least. So I was able, if you watch the videos, to fill up the fuel tank on the fleet carrier, which is 1,000 tons of tritium, and I put in, I think I had close to 500 tons in storage. So I had about 1,500 tons of fuel in the fleet carrier. So yes, I would like to have a whole lot more than that. I would like to have about 10 tons in, or 10,000 tons in storage, and the 1,000 fuel tank full is where I'd like to keep it. So because I'm not going out to Colonia anytime soon. Not with the wait times of up to 2 hours between jumps. No, I'm not doing that. It would take like 80 hours to get out there, and I'm just not wanting to do that. Now, if they could cut the wait time in between the jumps, maybe, but still maybe even 20 hours to Colonia. I don't know if I'd really want to do that. I'm comfortable here in the bubble, and we're on the edge of the bubble with Sothis and Ceos. So, and that's kind of the area I like, because I can prime grind credits with missions, cargo missions, trading in palladium and gold. And right now, the only thing we're accepting, we have a few that are not palladium, but we're only accepting palladium because I'd like to go back about every 2 to 3 videos and make a few jumps in the fleet carrier, show it being or taking off, going into hyperspace where it creates the cloud and the thunder and lightning and the booms and all that kind of stuff. I want to show more of that before the April 20th gets here, which we have roughly 11 days more, 10 to 11 days more of beta. So, and I want to continue to add tritium into the storage and into the fuel tank. And in Sothis mining, at first, the tritium missions were just unbelievable. We were getting 40 million a load, And that was just crazy, where the most we're seeing with palladium is around 22 maximum. And there I think we could have as high as 60 million with partials. So yes, that's kind of the plan. Yes, the base price of a fleet carrier is $5 billion. That's not going to do it for you. I'll tell you right now, the base, you can't even put all of your ships and all of your stored modules on it without the shipyard and without outfitting. So, and it's just so incredibly expensive. Watch those videos and you'll find out. It's like 400 million for shipyard, and like 300 million, 2 or 300 million for outfitting. And you want armory to be able to restock your heat sinks and your ammo and all of that. And that's, I'm guessing, again, you need to watch the video. It's like 100 million just to add it, and then the upkeep continues to go up. My upkeep, the way I have it, is about 35 million a week. So, and I have roughly 200 million in the fleet carriers balance, and I have about 200 million in my balance in the beta. So I've used up the whole 6.3, and I even grinded some so I could outfit the fleet carrier the way I wanted it, or at least sort of the way I wanted it. So check those videos out. And but like I said, it's 5 billion just to get into it. The next beta will be in May. And remember, about 2 weeks prior to the beta starting is when they take the snapshot. So if they took the snapshot right now, I would have 8.639 billion. So that would be good. I think I'd be really good with that. I think I could buy all the modules I want, and maybe all the services that I want, all of them. And that's not bad if you had all the services, the full shipyard with ships, the full outfitting with all the modules. So if you needed one, you could just grab one. You can even buy or sell them, buy and sell them if you open your fleet carrier up to everybody, or just your squadron, or your friends, or your squadron and friends. Now I have mine set up to none, so it's just for me. And I don't need 16 landing pads. It's just a mobile base for me. And that's really all I want it for. And I really like it. I really do like it. And I stay within the bubble anyway, so those 500 light year jumps, that's fine. I can do those. And it doesn't take 1 ton of tritium per light year. It doesn't take that. It might be 65% of that, something like that, maybe. So with a 408 light year jump, it took maybe 210, 220 tons. So it didn't take 287 or 408, that's for sure. So check those out. The upkeep cost is a little scary. When you're filling out the information and activating the services, it tells you the amount of upkeep for each service, and it would come up to 147 million a week. And it doesn't come out that way. Maybe there's a glitch in it or something, but mine was only 35 million because I went from 34 to 35 million, and I added the armory, and it said it was going to add 11 million a week, and it didn't. It only added about 1 million a week. So I'm not really sure. And there's no cartographics currently. I hope they do add that. Or at least where you can store your universal cartographics. Maybe when you're exploring, it doesn't actually connect to the system and pay you for them, but if it would just store them, that would be pretty cool. Yeah, I heard, I've been watching the forums too, the Frontier forum, and one guy said that he has like all these modded weapons, and he took his best weapons that he fights the Thargoids with, and he just wanted to see what would happen in beta. He unloaded on his fleet, or a fleet carrier, or his fleet carrier, one or the other, and he said within about a second he was dead. The fleet carrier unloaded on him, and all he could see was white, and boom, he was gone. He said it's something else. It's invincible, though. You can't damage it. Even the Thargoids can't damage your fleet carrier. So there's a lot of good stuff, and there's a lot of things that maybe need to be adjusted, but I like it. Watch my fleet carrier videos. You need to watch those. It's in a separate playlist on my YouTube channel called My Fleet Carrier, My First Look. So make sure you watch those. So I'll probably even go back and watch them in the 1st of June to make sure I do everything that I want to do. Because if you forget or you don't turn on a service and you want to turn it on later, you got to go all the way back to one of those 13 stations area, the system, to turn that on. So you can't do that remotely. And you can, what's cool is in your right panel, right, syswrite, I use voice attack. This row has 3 tabs. The middle one is carrier management is what it's called. So now, one thing I want to warn you about. I was running missions in beta. I had exited, and the next time I came in I didn't pay attention, and I actually went in on my live account. Well, all of a sudden, all of those missions in my live account showed up, and they failed. I had to pay over 1 million credits and fines in my live account, and I had to, the worst part is the reputation was damaged between all of them. So I had to go back in and build up my reputation again with all of these factions, because they thought I had all those missions, and because I cleared out all my missions before I went into beta. I delivered all of them. So when I accidentally came back to my live, it pulled over, which I thought beta and live were completely separate. It pulled over all those missions, and they all failed. A lot of them were tritium. Well, there's no tritium in live. They all failed, and they fined me for it. So be careful when if you're running missions in beta, or if I went to beta right now with the missions that I'm carrying, there's no telling what would happen. So watch that. That's dangerous. I know. I get to experience all the good, bad, and ugly of Elite Dangerous, so be careful about that. Okay. Well, we need to go to Sothis Mining, pick up at least 10.5 or 10.505, so we can hit that 8.65 every 50 million I bring a video, where we cross over that increment of 50 million on our credit. So I want you to continually be able to see how I prime grind and make credits. So sys left. See, it's not just ED, not just Elite Dangerous that I gripe about. The voice attack I gripe about, because it doesn't always hear. It's like, what's the deal with that? Why do I have to repeat myself over and over to get it to work? So it's not perfect either. And I use an Oculus Rift S VR headset. To me, the only way I play a game anymore is VR. I don't play non-VR games. I just can't. I get spoiled with VR. And but my VR headset will lose tracking. See, when I turn my head, the items don't supposed to move. My head moves, but the items, like the panels, should not be moving. when it loses tracking, they slightly move, and it drives you crazy. And all the crisp colors that I see, you don't see exactly what I see because I'm using a headset, and it's projecting it on my computer screen, and I'm recording the computer screen, so that's what you're seeing. But where I have 4K and it's clear and crisp and colorful, it'll go to a fade, a haze. It's kind of a heavy haze when it loses tracking. That drives me crazy. And everything slightly moves, and it's like, yeah, I have complaints about the Oculus Rift S too. So it's not just Elite Dangerous that I fuss about stuck throttles and all kinds of other things. So let's get going to Sothis Mining and pick up some more missions. Now what I'm doing, I'm only now starting, like the last couple of runs that I made, only collecting palladium. I want to run out of missions.
Landing gear retracted.
Detach confirmed. You may leave when ready.
Because when I deliver, if I can deliver all the missions probably in the next within the next video or two, I want to go back into beta and kind of a refresher looking at it. Let you see the way I've got it outfitted, the costs. Somebody's I thought was getting shot. No, that could have been just someone going into hyperspace.
Frameshift drive charging.
Make sure you look to the bottom right and select that subscribe button. That'll help me greatly with YouTube eventually. I'm not at their minimums yet.
4, 3, 2, 1, engage.
And it doesn't cost you anything to subscribe. But again, it helps me with YouTube. You get notified or you can be notified when I add a new video. And I'd really appreciate it. And I'm very thankful for the subscribers I currently have. Underneath the video, you'll see in the description ways to donate. Please donate. I thank all of those that have. No matter how small or large, it really helps out with producing these videos. And underneath the video to the left, you'll see my YouTube channel page, GFM_RDG, where I have over 500 videos just waiting for you to watch them. My first look at fleet carriers is probably the highlights ones. Those are the ones I really like. And the engineering ones, how to unlock the engineers, how to gather the material to unlock the engineers, how to gather the materials for the engineers to modify your modules, and all of those kind of things. And like Dav's Hope and Jameson Crash Site, where you can collect materials for the engineers, and synthesis. Use materials for synthesis so you can repair and rearm your ship through synthesis. That's really cool. You need to check that video out. And material traders. Let's say you have plenty of one material but not the material you need for the engineer. Well, you can trade the ones you have plenty of for ones that you don't, that you need. And so there's material trader videos. Now I move everything up to a higher grade so I can collect more materials, and it's much easier to trade a higher material for a lower material. Is this left? Okay. And I got plenty more videos too. Like the Guardian surface site, where you get the blueprint for the Guardian FSD booster. That's pretty cool too, because I get 10.5 additional light years on my Python with that. And I've got 72 stored modules. So I had modded even extra modules. So I've got probably about 65 engineer modded modules in different in kind of all classes in stored modules. And when I had the fleet carrier in beta, I moved all my modules over to the fleet carrier and my ship of my cutter. And I did move the Sidewinder, the one they originally give you that you can't sail. And so I have that one there too. So all of that's really great. I really like the fleet carrier, and I'm going to grind whatever it takes for that experience, because you have your own personal station basically, or it can be set up that way. Sys left. And yep, you should watch those videos.
Docking request granted.
And we're going to do a few more before the beta runs out. And then there's another beta in May for PC and console users. The one this week is strictly for PC. And I used the PC. So, yep, you need to check those out. It's been an exciting week, or a few weeks. My viewership is up over 700% just since the announcement on March the 26th. Regarding the fleet carriers and the betas.
Landing gear deployed.
And I'll keep you up to date on the new things that I find out. Watch more of my prepare for fleet carriers prior to the beta, and I give you more details there. It wasn't 100% correct at times because I heard misinformation, so I would correct
Docking
it
successful. Engines disengaged.
I would correct it as I found out what the real facts were, and even some of the viewers commented in the comment section, which you should, and I really appreciate that we did have viewers to comment. And so I would verify it first, but then if I verified what they said, yes, then I would I would admit to there needed to be a correction, or I said I'd look into it, but then in the video I mentioned that I did look for that, and yes, the comment was correct. So Sys left. We need, I like to pick up the oldest one, and we have 10 stacked missions right now. Frontier allows you to stack 20, and then you'll get, if you say something about stacking missions in the forums, you'll get criticized for stacking missions. How dare you? Play the way you want to play. Don't listen to others in the way they, in their own personal opinion, you should play. We're going to Babbage. This is Help 67 of 144 Cobalt. That's back when I was trying to build the reputation again. So I won't be accepting Cobalt unless I'm trying to top off a load, because I have cargo space for 280 units. I try to make sure I maximize that. So sometimes I'll go over the what it'll allow, and then I'll just deliver those later. So, and that's kind of what's happening here. So Babbage, Help 67 of 144. Let's find it. (144) Babbage. Let's take that one. It's the oldest one. You get 24 hours to deliver the cargo mission, or you are fine. That's what happened when it copied my missions that I had over in beta over to live, and I guess the clock, I didn't look at the clock in beta, but maybe it's 2 weeks prior, and they all the missions failed in live, and I got fined over 1 million credits. So I'm warning you because I don't want that to happen to you. Sys left. We're looking for only Babbage. Okay, there's a deliver 88 palladium. To Babbage, we take that one. And if we don't have enough, we will collect some for Babbage, even if it's not palladium. Sys left. Yep, we're not going to have enough. We have 10 current missions, so I'm going to go over and collect all the palladiums first before I look for just Babbage. So maybe there is a Babbage palladium. That's Brunel. We'll go ahead and accept it, because those pay the most, and it's all about getting paid the most. And see, there's a 180 silver to Brunel we would not take, but I was just looking to see what is Babbage. Those are all silver. They don't pay as much as palladium or gold. So it gets to the point, because of only 20 cargo spaces, that you get pickier. See, I would fall back to gold, and there's a Babbage. We might go ahead and do that one, because gold's not bad, and we need to fill up the cargo. And it's only a partial, so we'll pick it up on the next, the rest of it on the next
at maximum capacity
run. So we won't do any more golds, only palladiums, except unless it's the 2 unit or 3 unit that you get from when you donate, like when I had to rebuild. See, there's a deliver 2 units of gold, and it doesn't show here. It shows in the left panel how much it pays, but it's probably over 1 million credits for just 2 units. See, there's a 120 palladium. Accept. We don't have any more cargo space anyway. Cobalt, we're not taking that one because that one doesn't pay very much. It's all about the credits. How many credits can we collect? That's what it's about. And I'm trying to run out of cargo missions too. If I just take palladium, I'll start to run out of cargo missions. See, we were down to 10 cargo missions. Sys left. Sys left. And see, we have 13 now, but we have, see, there's -1 because we'll deliver this one, so we'll be at 12 after this run. We'll be at 11 after this run, and that's a partial, so we'll be at 11 after this run. But and there is times that you run out of certain, what you've delivered so much of it, it starts to decrease. So when it decreases, we'll go over to the beta and look at the fleet carrier again. But watch my previous fleet carrier videos. So we're going to Babbage. And like I said, I only show you when we cross over the cargo run that we crossed over the 50 million increment. So I will grind without video and without editing and all of that, so I can do it much faster than when I'm producing videos. So let's get going. Be sure to press that subscribe button. It'll help me with YouTube. It helps notify you when I produce more videos, and it doesn't cost you anything. So please subscribe.
Landing gear retracted. Ship released. Engines engaged.
And please consider donating
Frameshift
to our
drive
cause
charging.
of creating all these videos. In the description under the video, you find out how to do that. And please watch more of our videos at our YouTube channel, GFM_RDG.
4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
And there's a video of an anaconda that was in queue to leave the station. We were inside a large station, and the station unloaded on him and blew him up into a big fireball. So watch that video. Just in the search on my YouTube channel, put in Anaconda Destroyed, and you'll see that one. Yeah, my hesitation to pick which way around the star that I was going to go could have caused me trouble if they tried to interdict me while I was trying to leave the star. And at first I'm trying to lower my speed during the there's a chained one ended and one began. That's the problem with me submitting. If I want to fight back at the interdictors, the pirates, is because I have multiple pirates waiting to interdict. So like with the chain interdictions, and they would all see, this is the third one, like, and they were all chained. They all come down and fire at you at the same time. And I'm not a combat pilot, so that's not good. I don't like that. So that's why I try to beat them. But if you lose the interdiction, see, these are even another one, so we're going to have 4. So we would probably have 4 come down at the same time and fire at us. So I don't see that as a good thing. And my Oculus Rift controllers do not work as precise for interdictions, chasing that escape vector. Is this left? Try to see, you can turn and kind of move them around a little bit. The potential enemies. I don't like lining them up this way, but I'll come over to the side and then turn into the destination, which will push them. I like the planets and potential enemies in front of me or beside me, not behind me. So that's what we'll do. As soon as we get kind of to the side of the planet, we'll turn around. And see, now they're a little easier to see if they pop in behind you. You can kind of see more of their intentions if they're beside of you, in front of you, because they have to get behind you to interdict you. And they don't have to be right on your tail to interdict you either, just in their line of sight. You can see our line of sight, the lines that go out as like a triangle in front of us. So, but pirates have superpowers, so their line of sight might be a whole lot better than ours, because they have special privileges that no one else has in the game. Since all the developers must have been born and raised in Somalia, it's all about pirating to them, I guess, because it seems like everything is geared for the pirate. And this is a little concerning because we might be in his field. Well, we would be in his field of view. See, we could have been interdicted, and that wouldn't have been a good thing, because then he could push us into the planet. And a lot of times they do try to push you into the planet.
DeLacy, Romeo, Golf, India. Federal Flight Control would like to welcome you to this facility.
Message.
Access approved. Proceed to landing
Sis
pad
up.
03. Automated docking
Sometimes
confirmed.
we get attacked here at the station. They'll come out of Super Cruise right on top of us. Because they're mad because we didn't wait for them to interdict us. And they're going to pick our bones or boil us or something. Now, I've been playing for 8 months and I haven't been killed since the second day I played. And I knew I needed to figure this out because I couldn't keep going that way. And I haven't been killed since. Modding your ships, your modules, that helps a lot. I mean, my shields are good. The most I ever lose is about 1.5, maybe up to 2 rings. But I usually have a ring left, even when I slam into a planet when the gravity's real heavy and I'm descending and I can't slow it down. Check out those skimmer and stinger hunting videos. Like, put in skimmer hunting.
Docking completed. Disembark when ready.
It's low risk bounty hunting. And if you have cover, as we show in the video, then they can't get a shot off at you, and it's like shooting ducks in a barrel. I like low risk combat. I don't like high risk combat. Watch my videos, you'll see that. I don't take on ships because they have a much better opportunity, especially I'm a competent rank, but I'm not that competent. I am with stingers and skimmers, but when it comes to ships, not quite as much. I'm more of a trader, explorer instead of a fighter. So, is this right? See, competent 18, trade, elite, explorer, elite. So you can kind of see where my strengths are and my weakness. So we delivered those. And it did not push us over. So we're going to have to run another mission. So we're going to have to run one more. So we need... I should have looked at that before we left Sothis, so you'll have to stick with me to see us go over. Well, all we need is 4.5, and that should be really easy. So let's go back to Sothis so we can pick up another load so we can go over the 8.65. So this video will take a little bit longer than usual, but we'll make it. Sis left. Sis left. So let's go pick up another load, and we're at Babbage. Now there is a chance. Let's check out something in a minute. We might be able to do it just on the way back. Sometimes we get return trip missions. Not all the time, but sometimes. So we'll take anything we can get from Babbage going back to Sothis, and if we can get past that 4.5 million, we'll cross the 8.65. So let's see what we have going back to Sothis mining, or if we have any. First I look at the destination, then I look for, like here, Sothis mining, and this is 4.5. Guess what? We might have enough. We might have enough right there to put us over the 8.65. And I always like going back to Sothis mining anyway, so that's probably going to work out just great. So we have them all loaded. We wanted to make sure of that. See if there's another one going back to Sothis mining. And most of the time it's only Babbage and Brunel that have return trip missions. Look for Sothis, then come and look for a cargo mission like that one. There's another Sothis for 1.1 million. We're in luck today because most of the time we don't get 2. Sometimes we do, but not all the time. So there's 2 going back to Sothis, and that should top us off. And I'll look for another one. I don't remember seeing 3, but you never know. So we'll look for a third one. Okay, we have enough just by going back, doing the round trip, going back to Sothis mining. So let's do that, and then we'll reach our goal of 8.65 million. And then the next video after this one will be when we cross the 8.7 billion.
Landing gear retracted.
Docking coupler disengaged. Observe station regulations on exit.
And on auto launch, sometimes like these little towers and things, the auto launch will hit them, and you'll see on your shields where your ship will bump. Or you're sitting here and it'll move down or move sideways and hit things, and hit lights and hit the landing pads and things like that, and you'll see it on your little image of the ship, where you'll get flashes of red where it hit it. It says leave station in like 5 minutes when it starts. If it ever gets under a minute, go ahead and exit to the menu and back, because they'll find you even though they're controlling the auto launch.
Frameshift drive charging.
And the reason we didn't have enough, we usually would easily have enough where we're over 12 million every time, but it's because of some of those initial, like Cobalt ones, they just don't pay very
4,
much.
3, 2, 1, engage.
And I had those just to build reputation. Like when I told you I came back to live after being in beta, and I had missions in beta, and it messed things up here in live. And I got fined, and my reputation was harmed, and I had to rebuild that back up today. And so it's all good now, and we're only accepting new missions of Palladium, and that's it. Sys left. We have 13 missions. 2 of those will drop off here at Palladium, or at Sothis Mining. So we're really at 11. We'll only collect Palladium. And we might have good loads of Palladium, and we might have to go to beta again tomorrow, but let's just see how it goes. Normally they fall off. That's why I like stacking missions, because sometimes you can come here 2 or 3 times and there's no new Palladium missions. So if you stack them, you had them. You had plenty and keep you busy for a while. I do thank you for coming along. Be sure to press that subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything, and it really helps me out. And you get notified or you can. I don't know if it's a default, but you can be notified when I produce more videos. So be sure to do that. And I haven't set the Super Cruise Assist. I wish there was a keyboard command that would do it, and I'd put it into voice. Sys left. Sys left. But right now we have to do it manually. As long as most things are in front of me or beside of me. It allows me to see behind my ship. I zoom out the sensor so I can see as far as I can. Because I do get interdicted here at Sothis Mining sometimes, and we are carrying cargo. We're more likely to get interdicted when we're carrying cargo than not when we're not. That's probably okay. So you should always be prepared, though, to be interdicted. Now, I should knock on wood. It's been months since I've been knocked out of Super Cruise. And that's just because I hit the wrong button or I hit the cancel or something like that. And I think it took it as I was submitting to the interdiction, because I went, well, why did that happen? Because I was winning the interdiction at the time. So, is this left? But again,
Incoming
just
mission critical message.
maximize your throttle.
Docking request granted.
And hit the boost as often as you can, because it has to recharge, you see on engines. So boost as often as you can, and you can go right, left, up, and down, so their thermal weapons that the pirates use don't heat up your ship too much. But if it does heat up your ship and you can't get back into Super Cruise, I have heat sinks. I can launch one from voice, and you can launch it from your keyboard, or you can bind that to a key, to a button or something, and that will cool your ship down.
Landing
So
gear
you can
deployed.
get back into, cool your ship down so you can get back into Super Cruise. So you can survive them. You just have to have a plan and be prepared. But if you go back into Super Cruise, you can get
Docking
interdicted all
successful.
over again.
Engines disengaged.
Okay, we should go over that 8.65. Get all tongue-tied sometimes. And this will be the end of this video if we get across the 8.65, which we should. We don't on that one, but we should on this next one. $8.651. What a deal. Well, I do appreciate you coming along. Hope you'll watch my next video that comes out when we get to 8.7 billion. And as you know, or if you don't, you will know very shortly, credits are king. You need as many credits as you can possibly get in this game, especially with new content. With fleet carriers, you need tons of credits. Then you got fuel to buy or mine, and listening to the miners on the forums, it's not going as well. They can do about 90 tons an hour. I can do 90 tons in one cargo mission in 15 minutes. So, especially in the beta, look at the first few beta mission videos. When we start running missions for tritium, when we made over 40 million, and I could do 280 tons on the Python, deliver that to the fleet carrier, and it only cost 11 million. well, only, but it was only a fourth of what the mission paid me. So I could do over 1,000 tons from one cargo mission of fuel. So look, check all that out. So I do appreciate you coming. Please subscribe, please donate, please watch more videos, and I will catch you on the next video. Thank you for watching.